Okay, so some of you may already be planning out your tablescapes for harvest-themed meals, Thanksgiving, or Friendsgiving. Blogger Brianna Archuletta of Crown City Style shows some DIY ways to get your table ready.
I've put together a couple things to really finish off this fall table setting and really get the party started. So just to finish it off, I'd like to just start with a couple of cake stands. I like to use things like this because it really gives dimension to the table. So we'll put that one just there, a little towards the back. If you work in kind of diagonals, it keeps the eye moving around the table.
That's so nice. And I also wanted to touch on some of the colors that you picked up because we see browns and kind of this gold pewter color.
Yes, I like to make sure that everything's not matchy-matchy, but I did like to pick up some of the natural tones just to pick up the essence of fall and really play into all the natural elements of the pumpkin. So I have a couple succulent pumpkins here, and I'm just gonna kind of place them around. Again, I like to work in angles, so making sure that everything's not straight up all the time, letting some things kind of lay down.
And look how nice that is. Just such the best touch when you laid it down like that.
And then pop in a couple things that are just a little bit different.
Okay, and we've got to ask, these are so adorable. How did you do this?
So these are actually so simple. I just used a little bit of sheet moss and glued them to the top of the pumpkins and then just trimmed a few pieces off of variable succulents and just glued them down. It's all live and natural, and the really fun thing about this is that there's no right or wrong. It's just whatever you think looks good. I wanted to incorporate some sheet moss just to bring in additional organic feel to the table setting here. And a good way, again, to just keep the eye moving is just to work in layers.
Wow.
And so just let the moss kind of pull under. Yeah, so I think the biggest tip is to make sure that you don't end up with any of these hard edges here.
Okay.
So when you have one, just kind of stretch it out a little bit or let it layer under something else on the table so it doesn't look so forced or manufactured. I put in just these gold dishes. You can put the tea lights down on their own, but just a little extra touch with the gold just gives it a little bit more of a special look. I really just wanted it to be kind of subtle and low profile. There's a lot going on the table, and I didn't want to overwhelm it with massive candles.
Yeah, if you had a big candle, that would really draw away from it.
Yes, exactly.
So after we set the table, we just used a little brush to knock off any extra moss. In the next half an hour, we work on decorating the mantel. Welcome back. So this Thanksgiving, don't forget to decorate your fireplace mantel.
That's right, it's important. The outdoors are filled with colorful leaves and even some golden grain, so why not bring it inside?
Well, great point there, Bill. Blogger Brianna Archuletta of Crown City Style shows us how a mantel display can flow seamlessly into your Thanksgiving decor.
Well, we're gonna put them right up here, and I picked them out because the whole whitewash kind of restored look is really a key element of the farmhouse look. So,
and did it matter if we put it in the middle or got it exactly right?
It does. I like them honestly a little askew. They don't have to be just right. And we're gonna layer in some greenery here. I'll give you a couple.
Do you have tips and tricks for making these stand out, right?
Yes, so these are actually faux picks. You can use real ones if you have them, but most of us probably don't. So when you pull them out of the package, just make sure you're really pulling out all those individual branches and pieces to make them just feel a little bit more lifelike.
And this feels so good when it like stretches out over the mantle a little bit. It kind of gives it that extra
layered vibe.
Wow.
So we'll just kind of stick those in.
This is coming together really nicely.
And then, of course, our ode to Kansas, to have to add in some wheat.
I love the Kansas wheat, yes.
And I am gonna pass to you these candlesticks, if you'll put them on that end for me.
Okay, and we're seeing that whitewash again.
Yes, very big theme in the farmhouse look.
I'm gonna be very careful to go around our faux foliage. Now, do we want to really use the sort of diagonal look again? Because I know that's been a theme here.
Yes, definitely keep it diagonal, keep the eye moving, and then it wouldn't be fall
without
farmhouse without our pumpkins.
And are these ones that you actually DIY'd, or did you get the pumpkins like these?
These are naturally white. You can, if you're into the chalk paint look, you can get some different colors going, but these I went with the natural ivory that they have.
And do you have any tips? Like, do you like the pumpkins clumped together? Do you like to spread them out?
I like to do a little bit of both, but I think the important thing is just to kind of work different angles, have some of them leaning, have some of them stacked, and don't keep anything too squared off or consistent.
See, I didn't like the look that I had placed, and so once I heard that you can stack and lean, I went ahead and propped this baby
That
up.
looks perfect. And then just to finish it off, I'm just gonna add this lantern to the end here.
Okay, that lantern is so nice. One thing I wanted to ask was, when we're looking at things for our own mantle at home, for instance, would we want to put size and scale into perspective?
Yeah, definitely consider about how much room you have between the mantle and the ceiling so you can really determine how much height you can gain, but just keep the eye moving. That's the most important part.
Okay, Bill, and I was just talking about those window panes. Another really fun idea is you could actually string little banners around Thanksgiving time that said something like, give thanks. So happy Thanksgiving, just anything like that.
Yeah, very cool. You know, my favorite part of that, I think, just because I'm the old Kansas boy, I loved the wheat there on the side of the mantle. It was really cool.
Beautiful.
And set off with the window panes there. Yeah, window panes, not just for windows anymore, apparently.